Hello, Nathan.
How are you?
What you got going on, man?
How are you? You right?
Yeah, man, I'm all right. Just sitting in my car, just talking to different people, getting their perspectives on things. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool. Anything you wanted to talk about? Anything on your mind?
Nah, man, not really, brother. I just been uh I can't really think of the way that I'm trying to construct whatever thought that I'm trying to, conjure up here, but I just been talking to people and I guess for lack of a better phrase, seeing how it goes. You know what I'm saying? I study a lot about
Hmm.
philosophy and I just like talking to people. You know what I'm saying? Just I don't like to, argue with people or try to make people think different things, but I just,
Hmm.
I'm really fascinated with just talking to people. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I've always been a talker, man.
Fair enough. I understand that. I know nothing about philosophy. I've never even looked in it. Nothing like that. Um, yeah, I just try and have random conversations with people as well. Um, yeah. Where are you from? The USA? You sound like you're from the USA.
Yeah, man. I'm from the States, brother. From Georgia, born and raised here. I lived a couple of other places, but this is home for me. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Okay.
yeah. What about you? You sound like you're from maybe the UK, maybe.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, from the UK.
Word. I was just talking to a guy from the UK. You guys, I told him like if there was like a list of like the top 20 accents in the world, like on a Forbes
Hmm.
page or something. You guys would probably be number one, just because
Oh,
of
really?
yeah, bro. I don't know if you guys know it or not, but you guys' vocabulary is just like superb. I mean, I don't know how to speak a lot of different languages, so I wouldn't know exactly what their vocabulary is like, but I know that even the thugs, like even people who proclaim to be hoodlums and like street thugs, even they talk nice. Like it's like it's crazy, bro. Like, I don't know if like is grammar like a big thing in the UK or is it just this
Yeah,
is
it
just
is. I mean, I'm not too, when it comes to like writing and so, sometimes I get grammar wrong and there's people that correct me, my friends in the UK. No, Nathan, it's spelled this way. Um, so, yeah, I mean, it happens. And if you go into London in the UK, you will see, um, some people's vocabulary isn't wrong, but if they're like from the hood kind of thing. But, um, I mean, I had someone I had someone, a customer at work. He said to me, "Are you black?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" And he goes, "Well, because you've been dealing with my case for a while now, and my partner said that you sound black." And I said that he can't be black because his vocabulary sounds really good. So when I told him that I was, he was like, "Wow, man, like well done," kind of thing. Kind of took it in a bad way a little bit, but I was like, "Okay, I'll take it as a compliment a little bit." But he was kind of surprised himself, and he was from the UK, but he was Irish. So yeah, I mean, my vocabulary when I was younger, it used to be quite bad, the way I used to talk. Um, and I kind of just learned over time. Um, do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, and it's helped in the long run, you know. So yeah,
yeah, it's
you're up,
crazy.
yeah. So, but I love
Yeah,
America. I love you, Americans, man. Americans are funny, man. I mean, I like your slang. Um,
uh,
Like I
uh,
hear people say no cap all the time. I'm like, oh, that's funny, man. No cap. Yeah, it's jokes.
yeah, man. It's different, man, down here as far as the vocabulary. But it's crazy that I actually I wouldn't say a similar story, but I have a story that would probably have made you feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? As that same thing. It wasn't as direct as yours. Like that was very direct, and it's crazy because like people down like people wouldn't say like that was crazy to hear because first of all like okay
But I've always
no
thought that.
customer of mine would come up to my job and
Do you know
Okay,
why
like
he said that though? Is because I've been dealing with this guy for about a year. He's had issues for about a year. So I was the only one in the company that called him to check if what he was doing was working.
oh, okay. So
Um,
he was comfortable with asking you that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I could
Okay.
understand why he asked me. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, well, this dude, I didn't know it. This was really weird. Tell me how this would have made you feel.
Uh-huh.
I want your perspective on this, actually. Okay. So, I'm at work. Uh, I'm training to be an assistant manager at a gas station right now while I'm working to get my photography business going. But,
Mhm.
so this guy walks in and he says, "Hey, how you doing, man? I'm looking for a car wash." So, not the first time somebody's come in and asked me for directions. I'm not really good with them, so I always pull up my phone, right? Usually it's an older person, so they don't think to pull up their phone or they don't know how,
Sure.
right? So I pulled up my phone. I was like, oh look, there's one right down the street. It's actually like 0.2 miles, or I know you guys don't do miles, so it's like 1 kilometer away.
Mhm.
Just so you could relate to how, I don't know how. Well, I don't know why we're the only country that still uses metric. I don't understand it, but uh, but anyway, neither here nor there. So he says to me, "Well, I appreciate that, but this is a really old white guy, right?" He says, "I
Mhm.
appreciate that, but I was actually kind of looking for, like a hand wash car wash, and
All right.
I wanted somebody that was gonna wash my car for me, and you look like you would know where someone you would know someone who would be willing to wash my car." And I was like, "Oh well, no sir, I don't. I really apologize about that. I wish that I could help you further, but I don't know anybody who's into that business, nor do I know one on this side of town. The only hand wash car wash station that I know of is on my side of town where I'm from, and I don't work. Obviously from here now you can infer that I don't work on my side of town, but yeah.
Mm.
But anyway, uh, so he says, "Oh, okay. So I appreciate it, man. It's just, where I'm from, I know it's guys that'll wash my car in a minute. You know, there's plenty of guys that are willing to wash my car. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying?" And I said, "Oh, okay. That's that's cool. I'm kind of trying to wrap the conversation up because I got other customers." And he looks at me and he says, "Where'd you go to high school at?" Completely out of nowhere. "Where'd you go to high school?" And I said, "Hepzibah. That's where I went to Hepzibah High School."
Mhm.
"Did you graduate?" I said, "Yeah." And he gave me that look like I'm impressed. Like, hmm. Like I don't know if you could hear what kind of face I'm making, but hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good. That's yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
And he just walked out. He's like, "All right, have a good day." And to this day, what I don't know what happened there. Like,
I think
did he?
I think he was, and I think people would have taken it in a bad way and a good way. I mean, because it sounds like he was surprised that a black man is doing so well. Like, for example, the way that you're man to man, right? The way that you're talking now is quite good for a American, because most Americans that I talk to on here, they can't stop swearing, bro. Every sentence that they say, it's got to be a swear word. It's got to be this. You're talking very, um, like how you use the word professional, but very help me
I
out.
don't know the
You
word.
you 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 know what I'm trying to say, innit? But you're
Yeah,
you're talking, yeah, you're talking like a man. Do you know what I mean? Not like a boy who's from the hood.
well
You know,
spoken. There it is.
well
Well spoken.
spoken. That's it. Yeah. So you are well spoken, which is good. But you don't see that all the time. Um, even when if I was to go into London now, a lot of black men don't are not well spoken. A lot of Americans that I spoke to, black Americans, they're not well spoken. Um, And even if now you used to dress well, I don't know what your dress code is like at your workplace, but if you used to dress in a shirt and trousers and whatever, again, it would look even more like, wow, there's a young black man, well spoken, and he's dressing like quite formal or quite smart. Um,
Yeah.
that's why for me, when I was younger, I got mis when I was younger, I used to dress in tracksuits and a hoodie, just because it was the norm to kind of do that. And I got jumped by like 20 black guys because they thought I was somebody else. So I got jumped by a gang. And cut a long story short, they one guy realized that we've actually got the wrong person. So all of them were about to beat me up. And like from that day, I changed the way that I dressed completely. Like, you know, I started learning about nice clothes to wear, how to match clothes, and because I love wearing shirts. I love wearing nice casual clothing that people don't usually see, like Italian clothes, like jumpers. So I had to kind of like invest in myself and my image because I feel like for a black person that really matters. Because me just wearing a hoodie and tracksuits, for whatever reason, I was a target, you know. Um, and when I even started to change the way that I dressed, I remember someone beeping at me and a black guy like pulled over in his car. And he was like, bro, where'd you get that jacket? And I told him where I got the jacket from. So since then, I've got like a really good amount of feedback about certain things and the way that I dress. And so, but yeah, for me, that was just important. Image, is important and how you come across. Um, Not to say that I'm changing myself or conforming to anything, but I feel like if you want to get somewhere in life, like, you kind of have to be the best you can be. I think that's what it's about. Um, that's what it's about. Um, I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but I remember I had to go to a police station for something, and I thought, you know what, I don't want to have a bad vibe off me. So you know what I did? I went in jeans and a shirt so I could look presentable. So when they look at me as a black person, they'll think, you know what? This guy deserves respect. Do you know what I mean? I didn't
Yeah,
rock up with a t-shirt or oversized jumper and you know what I mean? Like I made sure I was fixed up. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't know how police are going to treat you or you don't know how people are going to treat you in general, you know? So yeah,
yeah, I
so
definitely understand that, man. And you really touched on something that I do want to, dive into a little bit more to see what it means to you, because I don't even know what it means to me because I never thought of it from that angle. But you said something that really it for me it summed up a lot, and
hmm
it was that what you said was basically investing in your image. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? And when you invest in your image, okay. Well, but so like, what is that? What did that mean for you? Like, what did that mean in terms of it becoming an endeavor for you, right? Like, how does one go about investing in their image?
it's hard, man, because I'll say something else which really made me change even more. Is there was a black girl at college, and she said to me, Nathan, you're quite good looking, right? But you dress really bad. And I was like, wow, you know, um, and so yeah, everything just made me just, and the other thing as well, which didn't help in a way, is that um, I was brought up in church, so the only thing I knew was how to dress good in a suit, right, and all
Right.
that stuff. Um, no one really taught me what dressing good is, and I remember spending years on YouTube watching certain people, um, how they dressed, how they conduct themselves, and stuff like that.
Your swag is your flag. Big nigga.
I,
Oh, okay.
bro, yeah. So I did all that, and that kind of helped. But again, it was more of the stuff I went through that really helped. Growing up, and the stuff that I've been through. I mean, I wish I wasn't jumped by anyone, but it really did help because it was like, you know what am I doing that makes me so familiar to others, you know? And it went down to my dress code. And now, the place that I used to live in, I stood out a lot because I mean, people even approach me saying, "Where are you from? Are you from the USA?" And I was like, "No, like I just live right around the corner." Do you know what I mean? So like, I even got talks like that because I dressed well for a black guy. Because America is known for people that kind of dress really nice, especially black guys anyway. Um, you know, I mean, you got YouTubers like DDG and, you know, the people like that dress really well.
Yeah.
So I took a piece of everything that the USA does and how they dress kind of smartly in a sense, even with casual clothing, and I kind of use that for myself. Um, you know, and I even got companies asking me, "Oh, can you wear some of our branding clothes and stuff like that?" Um, but yeah, I think image is important, and it even goes down to it even affects your life later on down the line in terms of when you meet a lady and how they perceive you as, you know, is this is he a serious guy? Because I mean, before, and I know a lot of people these days they use online, or everyone meets online almost, and people look at you by your pictures and stuff like that, and how you dress and how you conduct yourself. It will tell people what they see first without even talking to you.
Yeah.
Like I'm very mindful on how people speak to me when I come on stereo because, you know, when I talk to certain people, they're so loud. Hey Nathan, da, da, da. And I'm like, calm down, man.
Mm.
You know, like how you come across is so important. Um,
Yeah, I
but yeah,
definitely feel that. I feel the same way about how your image is important, especially pertaining to how, you know, people's perception of you, because, you know, that's that's a crazy thing about life is that, you know, and I say this, I don't know if anybody has ever said this, but I want to try to coin it. But what it is that, you know, there's no right way to really live your life, but for some reason there are a lot of wrong ones. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Uh, but what I was getting at is like there's there's something of a balance and something of a give and take on both ends of on one
mm,
side of the spectrum of, you know, not caring about what someone thinks of you and what type of place that'll put you in, and then also, you know what I'm saying, caring about, you know what I'm saying, everything that people say about you. I'm talking about the two extremes, right? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And caring about everything so much to the point that everything you do is to make sure that everybody sees you in the way that you want to be seen, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
how do we come to a point of how do we come to a point of non-passing contentment with ourselves to be able to say, I'm fine with my image. I know that my image is giving off a good vibe to people, and I love my image because it's mine. I don't have to fabricate it for someone else to make believe it. It's mine. So how do we get to that place? And do you feel like through, you know, all the things you learned about fashion and you know, even the things that the girl said to you, do you feel like you know, all of those things have put you in a place or are putting you in a place to where you can say that you are completely at peace with yourself as far
Mm.
as the outlook of others?
I think it has helped me, yeah, and it has changed the way people look at me and view me. Yeah. Um, it the thing is, I didn't see it growing up. I didn't see at first what people said to me and stuff like that. I honestly didn't see it. Um, and I did get treated in a certain way because of how I looked. I mean, to be honest, bro, you know, I was quite messy. I didn't go to the barbers regularly, so I was quite a scruffy guy. I wore oversized clothes, and I guess if I didn't, because the person who said that to me as well, that girl, I did know her, but I guess if somebody else came to me, probably I would have been like, I'm doing me, leave me alone kind of thing. I'm proud of who I am. But I couldn't say I was proud of myself because I was still getting to know myself. So I didn't really, do you know what I mean? And at that stage, I was in college and stuff like that. So I didn't
Right.
really, I'm still getting to know what I like and me. I mean, at that point, I was just The only thing that I was kind of focused about is watching anime and Dragon Ball Z. Do you know what I mean? Like that was my thing, you know. And then when life hits and you start going to work now, it's kind of like work teaches you something as well. When you start going to work, it teaches you obviously um, how to dress in a certain way. But I really had to lean off other people and see how other people dress. But to your question about should people just, I I don't think people should get to a point where they can say, this is me, accept me, because it can be a bad thing. Because if I was to dress hood and go to an interview and you know, and because of that, I was kept getting fired, and I found out the real reason why. I can't then. I could say, but this is me, accept me. But if I really want a job and I want people to respect me, there has to be a change in certain things, even the way that we talk and how we explain things, because that can give off. Do you know what I mean? Because all that stuff can help, and I wouldn't necessarily call it changing, but adapt to your environment.
Yeah. What we
Because
call it
even
in America. Oh, go ahead, man.
because even like when I'm with my friends in London, like the way I talk slightly does change because I'm more relaxed and I'm more free. We just talk. You know, we might pop out the odd words at times, like in it and fam, what you doing? But you know, like I feel like you have to be like like one of those lizards in the wild that they can blend in to any almost environment. I feel like we have to be like that. But last time when I said that to someone, the guy said to me that you're conforming to how these white people are. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. But at the same time, though, like when you live life and you see kind of almost every side of corner of life, you kind of have to adapt because otherwise you won't get anywhere in
Yeah.
life, really.
Yeah,
You
and
have
that is
to.
a really important thing. And what you're describing is a very, very pinpointed, like it was a perfect definition of what we call in America having a code switch, right? And it's very
Mm,
important to have a code switch, especially um for I'm not gonna say especially, but especially if you're a person that likes to do eccentric things in your private life. You know what I'm saying? Like if you smoke
mm,
marijuana or if you know, whatever you do, you know what I'm saying? If you like to drink, if you're a party person, you like to go to clubs or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Having a code
mm,
switch is important. And what it is exactly what you described, right? So I do that same thing. And for me, I'm not going to say I've mastered it so well, but I've created my own thing where my code switch is person to person. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Kind of
good.
like you, I view out that person, and based on that person and the energy that they're giving, that then determines the perception that I want them to have of me based on where I put them in a category. Like if I'm like, okay, he's a bro, you know what I'm saying? This is a friend, he's a peer, you know, I can be
Mm,
more relaxed. Whereas if I'm at work, right? Okay, like prime example, I work at a gas station. So say there's a very old white guy or a very
mm,
old black guy, doesn't matter. I know that I'm going to talk to them the same way that I'm talking to you right now because I
mm.
don't want them to view me in the same way that they view these other damn kids, right?
Yeah.
That's just a thing that I have. Whereas if
Mm-hmm,
it's a girl or a dude that's my age, you know, or even, you know, a little bit
mm,
younger, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't talk to young kids in slang. I talk to them proper too because they need to get the foundations before they learn the slang so that they can be able to differentiate. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
That's how I feel. But
mm-hmm.
yeah, you got to crawl before you can walk. You know what I'm saying? But you can't
Yeah.
start out with slang because not you're not gonna know that's how you get kids that don't know how to spell because now you don't know the difference between what's a real thing, what's a real word, and what's not because they've
Yeah.
been talking slang their whole life. It's
Yep.
ridiculous. The logic is so flawed in American English, like it's crazy. But you know what I was getting to my point is the code switch is very important because you have to you know what I'm saying because you have to be able to adapt exactly like you said, and people who are not willing to adapt, you know, on a small scale they get natural, you know, they get naturally selected out, for lack of a better phrase. I don't know if I completely agree with Darwinism, but I like the word natural selection, well, the term.
Okay.
but but yeah, You know what I'm saying? Like you will get, and what I mean by that is like in society, natural selection will happen to you if you're not willing to adapt to your environment or whatever environment your circumstances have involved yourself in for whatever reason, whether it's for financial gain, whether it's for the the furthering of whatever career you're in, whatever.
Mm,
If you're not able to adapt, they will remove you. And life, this is
yeah, it's
how life
true.
happens. Your life will be removed from that equation, and that equation will be filled with someone who fits that equation. That's just how life works. It's natural selection. If we become of no use to the world anymore, we will phase out as a species.
Yeah, we got to adapt,
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
I don't know if you've heard the phrase "you are what you attract."
Yeah.
Um, and again, like I said, even when it comes down to dating, I remember um putting up my when I met my because I'm married, so but when I was talking to my talking to her at the time on when we were dating, I remember her saying, you hardly see a black guy dressing quite smart the way you are. Because she thought, because when she saw me, she thought I was kind of uh stuck up, like a stuck up, prideful guy because of the fact that I dressed well. And when she got to know me, she knew that wasn't the case. I just like to dress well, you know. And
Yeah.
and again, like you said, is um, you know, we do have to adapt. And what you sell, what you're selling is what you're gonna kind of get. But at the same time, we need to realize as black people is that we kind of need to go towards now this dressing well side because it will allow us to get somewhere. You know, there's no point saying, oh, as black people, we don't get jobs, we don't get this. But are you looking the part? Are you selling yourself as good as you should be? Yeah. Um, are you doing that? Um, I remember going to an interview. My dad always said, if you're going to go to an interview, don't go in, Nathan, just wearing a shirt, wear a tie. And I was like, wear a tie? It's like, yeah, Nathan, go and wear a tie. You know, I was like, oh, okay. So I went in there wearing the tie. I've got these nice Italian shoes. I put one of them on, and a lot of them liked the way I dressed. And I found out that the way that I was dressing a little bit more better than the person that was interviewing me. So I came across as more serious in the sense of I want what I want, and I'm ready to do what it takes to get the job, even though their uniform was probably different. The first time I showed up, I looked smart and formal. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not being funny, right? But you know Kevin Samuels, right?
Yeah.
Even the way he dresses, why can't we be dressing smart like that? Because there's even a type of vibe that comes with that. People respect you more. Do you know what I mean? Like people want
Yeah.
to gravitate towards you. And I'm like, if he can do that and he's like not even our age, he's like what, almost 50 now? Like, why can't we walk like that and carry ourselves in a way that I mean, we talk about being a boss, but really dress like one. Do you know what I mean? Or dress smart, and I think it's important, man. It will get us somewhere in life, man.
Yeah, man.
Like,
Uh, it's crazy that you talked about that because that same thing is actually happened before. It was a study that they did, right? And it was on the TV show, and then they actually did a real study. People are more likely to take you seriously if you're wearing a suit and a tie,
uh-huh,
and that goes way deeper than just taking you seriously. Like they're listening to what you say. Whatever you tell them, they will believe you.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
if you look nice, you have on a suit, a tie, you got the handkerchief in there, you got the watch on, you know what I'm saying? Probably got the Bluetooth in, you know what I'm saying?
Cufflinks.
And you yeah, and you walk up and like I walk up to you and I say, "Hey, how you doing? My name is Mr. Anderson. I'm a doctor and you need to leave right now. This area, you know what I'm just found out we're about to get everybody down here, blah blah." Like your first thought is holy like this is guy in his fucking suit and he's telling me to get the fuck out. Like he looks like he knows what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I'm gonna get the fuck away from here. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe do like a little badge flash or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Now, if you use that same scenario, right, and pitch that guy dressing hood, you would probably think there's a gang rivals or gangs coming down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
to,
Wait, like as soon as you see him beelining towards you, walking fast, looking concerned, you're gonna run. Hoodie on,
yeah.
hood up, like sweats on and shit. Oh yeah, nah,
Hmm.
bro. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm with my girlfriend and my daughter, bro, hand my daughter to my girlfriend, and I'm gonna sit up and be like, "What's up, bro?" I ain't gonna lie, bro, because I'm an intimidating person. Like that's just me. Like if I feel your energy is off putting, I'm gonna try my best to intimidate you to let you know that you're not the only intimidating person out here. Then I'm gonna talk to you very nicely and confuse you. But yeah, man, like yeah, if you put him in the same scenario, if you switch it, you're not gonna believe that guy. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it really boiled down to how, you know what I'm saying, the different styles of dress. Like, and it's crazy, man. Like they've done totally different scenarios in that. They've done the one where like he said he was a doctor. He also did one where he went to the store manager, the general manager, right? You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm,
they know the corporate people. You know what I'm saying? Because they're kind of a corporate person themselves. You know, they be with them all the time. They're like the next thing up from a corporate person, the general manager, right?
hmm
Walks in and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the new executive president." And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, well, what happened and blah blah blah." He just said some really nice. You know, he did a little bit of reading on the terminology. You know what I'm saying? He was all like, "Oh
mm.
yeah, this and that. This was going on. He's moving to this division. They got me over here now, man. I just came over here to meet you." And he starts giving him a tour of the fucking restaurant. You know what I'm saying? The back. I didn't mean to curse, but yeah, but like he starts giving him a tour of the back. Yeah, this is like he starts inspecting stuff, and you know what I'm saying. He's like, yeah, so how are these hot enough? Yeah, yeah, let's check these temperatures. And then at the end, he's like, yeah, man, this was just a study. I'm not this guy, but yeah, you know, studies show that when you look nice and you know what you're talking about, people are more likely to believe you. And we just wanted to
It's
see if that
true.
was true. And obviously it was because like I got the whole shebang, fam. Like he gave him the
I
whole fit.
remember. I remember walking into. I was doing. I was like shopping for clothes actually, and someone approached me saying, "Excuse me, do you work here?" And I
Yeah,
said, "No, I don't." I'm like, "Wow." They really. So again, because that it shows that when you dress a certain way, people look at you as not above average, but it's kind of how it seems. You're above average, in terms of you're automatically pictured as okay, mentally he's stable, and there's someone who you can go to and talk to, and someone who's serious, who takes their life seriously. But on the flip side though, that's why, for example, when you go to parties or you go to dinners, even the way you dress has to tweet up a bit and stuff like that. So yeah, it's important, man. It really is important. And I'm going to touch on something as well. Hopefully you hopefully you agree with me on this one. But I believe that as well, that women need to change the way that they dress as well, because it can come off in a way that one, they don't want to come across as certain things, but it can seem that way. Um, I mean, social media these days is just everyone looks the same, you know. Um, just how when, for example, that guy saw me as a potential another gang person because of the way that I dressed. Um, from a boy to a man, and kind of distinguish what a boy and a man is kind of thing, how they dress. I feel like these days it's hard for us men to find women, like proper women that are of some sort of standard. Do you know what I mean? That respect themselves. I don't see that. I mean, I was lucky enough to meet my wife, um, but there isn't a lot of people like that these days still. Do you know what I mean? You there, bro? Hello? You there, bro? I think we've got some technical issues here. Hmm. Hang on.